Alright y'all, how y'all doing? My name is Just Another Collector, and this right here is just another spec video, you dig? Now I recently did a CGC unboxing where I pulled a whole bunch of static ones in a 9.8, which led some collectors, to message me asking what are some good static books to target, knowing that Warner Brothers and Michael B. Jordan are moving forward with a live action static film. Seeing as the Key Collector comic app doesn't really have much information on any keys other than the first appearance, the origin. I believe the Worlds Collide issue 14 gets mentioned, and a whole bunch of super scarce final issues, but there's really no mention on any Bang Babies or first appearances of any significance, So I figured, why not try to beat everybody to the punch and bring y'all the information myself, you dig? So to start off, of course, we got issue 1, the first appearance of Static, Hot Streak, Frida, the 5 Alarm Gang, crew. We get Sharon, his sister. We also get Static's homeboys, Larry, Felix, and Rick in this issue. Of course, there's another variant. This was the polybagged, so it came with the card and the poster. This was always the one I targeted for some reason. So that's it. We got Static issue 1 right there. We got Static issue 2. Now this is the origin issue of how Static got his powers. I believe the first mention of the Big Bang Brawl was in Blood Syndicate 2, where they're talking to a reporter about the incident. But we get the recap in this issue as well. We find out Static's relationship with Biz Money B, Hot Streak. We find out that he was bullied by him and all that. We find out that he went to the Big Bang with intentions of shooting Hot Streak. So that's why he was there and all that. But we also get the first appearance of Tarmac in this issue. Moving on, we got issue 3. Now this issue we get Tarmac versus Static. This is also the issue where Static constructs his iconic glider. I'm a big fan of the trash can lid, but of course, this is the glider that folds in on itself. So this is the issue we get that. Now, issue 4 is one of my favorite issues of all time in comics, period. We get the first appearance of Don Cornelius, who's like the Falcone of the Dakotaverse. He's the big mafioso out here. We also get the first Daisy Watkins, who's the love interest of Static. So a big enough book that I jumped at the chance of owning the CGC 9.6 newsstand edition. I got it for $50 shipped. Probably overpaying at the moment, but realistically, I think this is a super undervalued key, and this I could see this skyrocketing. So we get the first appearance of Don Cornelius and Daisy Watkins in that one. Issue 5, 6, and 7. We get the first appearance of Commando X. We also see Static using a cling power, like where he pretty much sticks to the wall like Spider-Man climbing up to his bedroom. I feel like that's a pretty cool moment. You don't see much of that, but there's a moment of that in this books. This book is mostly about we get a terrorist named Commando X. His powers are pretty much like Gambit's. Anything he touches could turn into an explosive. He ends up bombing a Jewish temple, so this whole arc right here is mostly race related, so there's a race riot between the Jewish communities and the black communities. Very dope issue, man. It's hard to get into that, it's just not enough time, but I would love to talk about this issue if you read it, so first Commando X and issue 5. We also get a awesome conversation between Virgil, his father, and Frida and her father, talking about their respective communities and all that. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We got issue 8. We get the first appearance of the Botanist. We get the first appearance of Plus and Narni from the Shadow Cabinet. We also get the first appearance of Fenil from Star Chambers. He's actually the first person that calls Static Virgil, which throws him nuts. So this is a Shadow War tie-in, They're trying to recruit Static to their side in this issue. I don't want to get too much into it. I would like to do a Shadow War separate video, so I'm gonna leave that there. But this is actually a super iconic Walt Simonson cover. Now, the significance behind this is that John Paul Leon was actually studying under Walt Simonson, so I feel like it is awesome to have a master respect the work of his student, you know, and jump in on it, you dig? So this is actually a super iconic cover to me. I totally respect it. So issue 8, we get a couple first appearances right there, and a Walt Simonson cover. Now issue 9, we get the first Virus, you know, who turns out to be a mentally challenged kid whose father left him, and his mother smokes crack. You know, crazy. Like, that's what Milestone targeted, you know. So that's what we got in this issue. We got the first appearance of Virus, issue 9. Now in issue 10, we get the first appearance of Coil and Puff, who are two females trying to make a name for themselves in the underworld, and they figure how better than to beat up Static, you know. So they end up painting murals, posing as or Puff posing as an admirer, you know. So she meets up with Static, and alright, cool. And yeah, so the first appearance of Coil and Puff in this one, really cool. She paints like giant graffiti murals, like, "Hey Static, I'm a big fan, let's meet up," and all that. So first Coil and Puff in 10 and 11. Alright. Issue 12, we get the first Destruct. He's a former Paris Island Blood. So in this issue, his gang, you know, they learn that he has powers, so they set him out on a mission. Like, dude, they kidnap his father. They're like, "Yo, if you want your father back, bring us Static, or we send you your father back in pieces," you know. So issue 12 is the first Destruct. Issue 15 is one for the kids. No real first appearances in this one, I believe, but we do get a dope story. You know, we get a breakdown of how kids in the inner city, you know, they end up looking up to the dope boys, the hustlers, and the gangsters, because 9 out of 10 times, like, that's the only people they have to base success off of. You know, they see them with the cars, the jewelry, the women, the cars, and all that. So Static sets out to try to change that, and I think this is a really dope issue, man. So number 15, one for the kids, you dig? So that I'll put to the side. Alright, issue 16 I'm gonna come back to, but this is the first appearance of Joyride. His abilities, he could control cars, so he's pretty much a car thief, and it's damn near impossible to catch him. He steals Larry's car in this issue. Issue 17, we get the first Palisade. I don't know how to say his name, but he's a knight who seeks out to be a vigilante, you know. So we get the first Palisade in this one. Issue 18, we get the first Nightmare. She's a super feminist, you know, ends up being like a Mysterio type with illusions and all that, but super feminist type, you know, angry at the world, angry at men and stuff. So we get the first Nightmare in issue 18. Issue 19, we get the first Ducky. We get the first Dusk, or at least a cameo appearance of Dusk. And these videos right here, this little arc, this 5-issue arc from 16 to 20, we get this is pretty much known as the gay bashing arc, you know. So turns out that Rick is actually a closet homosexual. We get little hints here and there about it, you know, but he comes out as gay, you know. So him and his friend ends up getting attacked in 16 by some gay bashers and all that. Really deep issue, really dope arc, you know. So in issue 19 or 20, we see how even the police make fun of them, and they're not really interested in helping them, which is foul as hell, you know. Like, but we don't get let's accept everybody BS, you know. We don't get that bull crap of, yeah, we respect everybody, but then talk crap behind their backs and all that, you know. We don't get none of that. We get the real truth in these issues. We get honest reactions, we get honest feelings. And if you pay top dollar for that Tim Drake issue, if you pay top dollar for that Kal-El issue, or his son Jonathan Kent, you know, if you pay top dollars for those issues and you read comic books, I advise you read this arc. This arc right here is great writing, you know. And I definitely respect Milestone for a lot of things that they had the balls to attempt in these issues, man. So we also get the return of Hot Streak in issue 20. Alright, we'll move on to 24. really dope issue because we see this is more of a character issue, you know. So we see Dusk and Static take down a gun shipment and all that, but after taking them down, you know, she talks Static into like not even reporting it to the police. You know, they're like, dude, let's just destroy the guns. You know, cops kill people. The guns end up back out on the streets and all that. You know, so let's just take care of it here and now. Let's just destroy it ourselves while we're here. Some real vigilantism, and I super respect it. And this is actually one of my favorite issues. So issue 24. Of course, I had to go issue 25, the super controversial issue. You know, DC wasn't a fan of the original cover art, which depicted Virgil and Daisy, you know, about to lose their virginity. They're making out on the couch. You know, I'll show a picture up somewhere. So they're making out on the couch with some condoms and all that, you know. So I could see it being graphic, but damn, does the world need more comics like this? You know, some honest ass comics, bro. So in this issue, Daisy's grandmother dies, so she ends up moving back to Paris Island with her mother. Issue deals with the fact that she hints at wanting to lose her virginity to Virgil. So Virgil talks to his father, gets condoms, a super dope, you know, like, you don't see this regularly, man. You know, Virgil travels out to Paris Island, which is like the scum, you know, like the real hood and shit, you know. So he travels out to Paris Island and pulls up to Daisy's building, and you would see what a lot of inner city youths would see in their buildings, you know, kids smoking weed, kids just chilling in the front of the building, or bums just laying in the building, other people smoking weed. I really, it's so crazy, the ideas that Milestone try to put out there, you know, just to show a different side of the planet, you know, like different type of neighborhoods, and really commend them for this issue. This is a powerful issue on its own. Nothing really happens besides that, but this is one of my favorite in the PC for sure, you know. I was gonna stop there, but speaking about the characters and all of that, one of my favorite characters is Larry, and in issue 28, you know, we get hints throughout the series that Larry's with the ish, you know, like he ain't no punk, you know. So in issue 1, gangbangers run up in the school, you know, they put a gun on teachers, they gun butt the teacher and all that, you know, pistol whipper, and Larry's like, dude, distract him, I'm gonna pull my shotty, you know, like, so he's in school with a shotty too. Then there's another scene where somebody's up to him like, yo, dog, like, let me talk to you, you know, like, let me talk to you about some business. And I love this moment, man. Larry's like, dude, I'm in school right now. Find somebody else for that. You know, I'm not here for that right now. Super dope, man. Issue 28 breaks down more like what Larry's into, you know. So we find out that he's a drug dealer and all that. So he gets caught up in a raid, and Static ends up finding out like what he's up to, how he ends up making his money. Really ballsy, man. I really commend Milestone for what it is that they try to bring to the world and all that. So definitely a powerful issue on its own, very character building, so a key on itself, you know, so respect that for sure. Now, there's a couple of other books, you know, it just ends up getting broken down into scarcity because, you know, not a lot of retailers ordered the issues, you know, but those are my major first appearances that I feel people should target while nobody's talking about it at the moment, you dig? There's also the Rebirth of the Cool, that's super limited, you know. I happen to have all 4 slabbed, you know. I believe I have the highest 9.2 where he gets his new costume and all that, but there's definitely a lot of Static books out there that are flying under the radar as of now, but it's only so long that's gonna last, you know. So hopefully this reaches some comic book readers, you know, before some comic book flippers, and you guys are able to get your hands on a couple of copies before FOMO hits, you dig? So as usual, my name is Just Another Collector, and happy hunting.